Hello, and welcome to our show for the love of animals. Have we got a great special for you today? We're going to be talking about animals in the Chinese culture. I'm Darleen Pigford.
I'm Greg Baur. We want to tell our viewers of a couple of upcoming shows. One on how can you have cats that have special needs, disabilities.
All right.
I think you'll find that interesting. And also show on eagles. And we have a lot of other neat things planned, but we'll get talk about those later. But today, Darleen, what you kind of whetted our appetite. What is this now?
Well, we're going to be talking about the Chinese New Year.
Okay.
What animals are common in the households in China today. And we're going to take a look at the stories from the past and about sacred animals and religious, and just in general, animals in the Chinese culture.
And I understand that they have a something similar to Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yes, they do. We're going to tell you all about that. And we have a special guest, Greg.
Yes. We have with us Lu Zhang, who is here from China as an exchange professor this year at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. And we also know her by Susan. So, Susan, we would like to welcome you to the show. And we're looking forward to all the neat things that you brought with us today.
We're so glad that you're here.
Thank you. I feel honored. I really feel honored to be part of this show.
Tell us where you're from in China.
I'm from Foreign Languages College in Tianjin Normal University. That's a nearby city of Beijing.
Beijing, okay.
Yes.
And over here you are teaching, right?
Yes.
So you're a visiting instructor here.
Yes, I teach Chinese culture in WKCTC.
All right, and we're just taking a snip of that on animals.
Yes.
Well, listen, one of the things that has been in the news a couple of months, recently, is the Chinese New Year. Understand this is the year of the ox, right?
Yes.
Explain that to me. I mean,
and actually, the Chinese New Year is similar to the American Thanksgiving holiday. It's a time for family reunion. And besides, we use a lot of beautiful decorations to decorate our houses.
Okay.
And there are 12 animals that are related to the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year is based on the Chinese lunar calendar. According to legend, 12 animals bid farewell to Buddha before he left this current world to carry out his other missions in other worlds. So only 12 animals arrived to say goodbye to him. He awarded these animals by naming each year the year of the animal that said goodbye to him.
All right. Okay, and so the ox is the current year.
Yes, yes. And the animal signs represent a 12-year cycle in Chinese lunar calendar. So the year of the ox marks the beginning of a new cycle for the ox. For example, in the past, people didn't know the exact year of their birthday because we didn't have a Gregorian calendar at that time. And people just used the animal signs to remember their own age. Let me give you an example. I was born in the year of the ox, and that's a 12-year cycle. This is my third cycle. So you can guess how old I am.
3 to 12, 36.
Yes.
Or you can say I'm 3, right?
Yes.
Now, I've seen some beautiful artwork, and we're going to show up the screen. Explain to me these stamps that celebrate the year of the ox.
Yes, actually, these stamps are designed for people who collect stamps because these animals are very, very beautiful and they are significant in Chinese legend. So they are part of Chinese life. That's why stamps are issued every year to either for the stamp collectors and for ordinary Chinese because they can use the newly issued stamps as a gift for their friends and relatives. So last year, my daughter got a set of stamps with the rats
Okay.
Yes, because last year was the year of the rat. So another friend gave us a set of stamps for the year of the rat. So that's a good gift.
Okay. All right. And I see here is another stamp. What does it mean? What does the ox represent?
Oh, ox represent people who are hardworking, and they are born leaders.
All right.
So you can see this ox is powerful, and
That's right.
the color red represents fortune and happiness. So people hope that 2009 will be a prosperous and happy year for
don't we all?
everybody.
Now, since we are for the love of animals in the United States, I picked the year of the dog.
Yes,
Okay, and here are some stamps. What does the dog symbolize in your culture?
Loyalty.
Exactly. Okay, loyalty. All right.
And that's one of the things that we think is characteristic of that animal
Yes,
here.
yes.
And Wicket certainly is. And I think we have another stamp that you showed me, and it's very, very creative. Right, this is the dog,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And I think it's so colorful. Is this indicative of the art in China?
Yes. So I think in a country where agriculture is the tradition, people would like to use different colors, natural colors from their fields, from their farms. So you can see in spring, in autumn, in summer, the countries were very beautiful with different colors. So the local people and the artists would like to use the colors that represent the agricultural life about the Chinese.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to ask this. We are cat and dog people.
I see.
Why didn't the cat have a year for itself?
Oh, actually, that's a very fun. There is a very funny story.
Okay.
In the past, the cats and the rats were good friends.
Okay.
And one day, they got the news that Buddha was going to leave for another world. They were very excited. They would like to say goodbye to him. So the cat wanted to be the first one. He talked about his plan with his friend, the rat. So the rat was very sly. He didn't want his friend to be the first one. He wanted to be the first himself.
Okay.
So he told the cat, "You got the wrong information. Actually, the Buddha was going to leave the next day." So when all the animals arrived to say goodbye to Buddha, the cat was sleeping at his house. He didn't realize that it was time for the farewell party. So when he found out the truth, he was extremely angry. So the cat and the rat became enemies.
And they are to this day.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's why the cat is not one of the 12 animals of the
That's
year.
right, because he was late. The Buddha had already left when he went there.
Well, I
That's a
think
wonderful
That's
story.
a cute story. Well, I think it's time, Greg. Let's take a break
Yes.
and let's give the cat equal time. Here is a happy tale about a cat named Stony. Listen up.
Hi, my name is Stony. I'm about 5.5 months old and they call me a bullseye tabby. I guess that's because I have a marking on my side that looks like a bullseye. Some very kind person found me beside the road when I was just a wee one. I don't know what happened to my mom and siblings, but I was sure lucky. They picked me up and took me to Judy at Creatures Great and Small. It didn't take long to find me a happy forever home, and now I am very happy. I have children to play with and have my own seat at the dinner table and at the computer. Maybe I can master Windows. Thank you, Judy, for finding me a loving forever home.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that little story about Stony. Stony has apparently found a home.
Oh,
and
that's
so it's,
wonderful.
he has that happy home. we've been talking about the Chinese zodiac, and just as we ended the segment, we found out why the cat was not included. And we want
That's
to find
right.
out, Susan, what some of the other animals are. For example, I was born in the year of the snake. Now, we have a very stereotyped view of the snake as not being a very nice animal, but you tell me that the snake has a much different reputation in China. What is that?
Actually, the snake is famous for his smart and his wisdom, because a snake is known for his diplomatic methods in dealing with daily difficulties.
Okay.
And the snake is also called the little dragon by the Chinese, because the sacred animal dragon has the body of a snake. So that's why snake is very popular in China too.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that.
Yes.
And I'm the year of the sheep, and the sheep means
The sheep has always an artistic taste in his or her life. So they are born artists, and they have a different or maybe unusual taste for arts.
well, I tell Randy Simmons that.
Yes, yes.
And if you would like to know more about this, you can just go to the internet and Google what?
Chinese zodiac
Chinese zodiac,
or the Chinese animal science.
Chinese animal science.
And you can find out what the other
Yes.
9 or 10
Yes.
animals are that we haven't mentioned.
I believe it's
Right.
the tiger and the monkey and the
Yes.
horse.
Yes.
Anyway, I couldn't remember all of them.
And rooster and
Rooster
the dog.
and-
Just now you mentioned the dog and the pig.
The pig. Okay. Well, speaking of animals in general, in the United States, cats are probably the most common household pet, then dogs. In China, what's the situation as far as household pets?
Yes, actually, during my stay here in the United States, I've found a lot of neighbors and friends that have dogs and cats as their pets. But you know, in China, the population is huge.
Right.
The living space is limited, so a lot of households do not want to keep large animals as their pets. They do love dogs and cats. So I know poodle dogs and Dalmatians are popular in China, but the most common pets are golden fishes. So,
really?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me show you a picture of the typical golden fish in Chinese families.
Okay.
So these beautiful, adorable creatures decorate our houses and give us a lot of pleasure. And this is a small aquarium, and most of the Chinese families have such a kind of a container to contain their little pets. And recently, the dragonfish is more and more popular. So people who have a company or business would like to keep dragonfishes as their pets in the places where they work. And these are common household pets. And
I understand also, you told me that a bird is very popular.
Yes, and I think birds are admired by a lot of senior citizens. They put their little pets in a very delicate cage, so they take their companions everywhere.
Oh, really?
To a public place, to the parks, and sometimes they just hang the cages on the tree branches so they can enjoy the singing of the little birds. So the popular pet birds are larks and little parrots. These birds are good at imitating the singing of other birds, and they can be trained to speak a few words of human languages, you know.
And what other, besides pets, you have a number of wild animals in China. What are
Yes.
some of the animals that we might see if we were in the countryside.
Or the forest?
Yes, actually, if you walk in the northeastern part of China, in the forests, probably you would find tigers. So tigers usually stroll in the forest in northeastern part of China. And if you visit the Yangtze River, maybe you will see the alligators. And in Sichuan province, there is a safe haven for wild pandas. You know, pandas are on the verge of extinction. And there is a mountain that is very famous in China. It is called Emei Mountain in Sichuan province. You will see a large pack of monkeys.
Oh.
And you have to bribe these monkeys if you want your trip to be safe. You need to give them food. Otherwise, they will rob you. And actually, myself was robbed while I was touring in, not in the in the Emei Mountain, but I was robbed by a monkey in a zoo.
Pickpockets, eh?
Yes, because I carried some food for my daughter and my husband, but probably there was a monkey king in the pack. He robbed me, and he ate all the food himself. He didn't share anything with his fellows.
Now, you said Monkey King, which leads us. Tell us about the animals that are in the culture for either children or young people. Like, we're a big Mickey Mouse, I guess, still, and there's a new generation of kind of cartoon characters here in the United States. How about China?
Yeah, excuse me. So just now, Greg mentioned the Chinese Mickey Mouse. And I know Mickey Mouse and Donald Ducks are the most popular cartoon characters in the United States. And still today, I think they are popular in China too. But we have our own Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And they are good friends. And in ancient China, centuries ago, a story was written about the Monkey King. The story is called The Pilgrimage to the West. It's about a Tang Dynasty monk who traveled to ancient India to bring back the Buddhist sutra for other Chinese. So his story is well known among all the households in China. And this is the cartoon character of the Monkey King.
That's Monkey King, okay.
Yes, yes. He has a magic stick, which is his weapon. So he can use this weapon to fight against the monsters and ghosts on their journey to India.
Okay.
And this is a picture showing the Monkey King swimming in the ocean. So he can jump high above to the clouds in the sky, and he can dive into the deep ocean. And these funny pictures are about his companion, his buddy, that is the pig. The pig is very lazy, but he has a kind heart. Besides, he loves women, but he is a monk. He is not allowed to fall in love with women. And today, there are newly created cartoon characters for children. This is the picture of the little carp.
The little carp, okay.
Yes, you know, because just now I talk about pet fish in China. So fish is the Chinese favorite pet. So this cartoon is called The Adventures of the Little Carp. It is based on a Chinese folk story. If a carp can jump over the dragon gate, he would become a dragon himself. So the adventures of the little carp is very popular in among Chinese children. So this picture shows a little carp and his companions. And there is another interesting cartoon for children. It is called Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf. You know, goats or sheep and wolves are natural enemies.
Yes.
So the little creature and the big wolf have the story of Tom and Jerry style story. So always the big wolf is defeated by the small goat. And, so these are very popular cartoon characters in China.
Well, I think it's
I think this is so interesting.
so interesting. I hate to take a break,
Well,
but
we're going to come back, though.
right?
This particular happy tale that we're going to show you now is about Tim, who's a golden retriever, and Tim is still looking for a home. So take a listen, and I think you'll agree that he's a wonderful opportunity for a new pet.
Hi, my name is Tim, and I am a handsome golden retriever. I guess that I am somewhere between 1 and 2 years old. A kind person found me abandoned on a dead-end street and took me to creatures great and small. I am a friendly fellow and love to play fetch, run around, and play with other dogs. Right now, I have a foster home, but would really like a happy forever home. Please call Judy at 270-554-2616 and tell her that you want to adopt me. You won't be sorry.
Welcome back. That was a wonderful story about Tim, and he's available. So keep that in mind. We're talking this afternoon with Lu Zhang, who
Susan.
teaches here at the college. She's teaching Chinese and Chinese culture, and we're so happy to have her today. And we've been using her American name, which is Susan, today. So, Susan, would you help us now?
Yes.
How do we pronounce some of our animal names in Chinese? For example, dog,
狗,
gao. Okay.
Say it again.
狗,
Okay.
Gall,
yes.
gall. Okay.
Cat.
猫,
Oh, like meow. All right.
yeah,
Mao.
like meow, yes.
Mao.
猫,
Mao.
yes.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Bird.
Bird.
鸟, 鸟,
Meow.
yes.
Meow.
Okay. Meow.
No,
Meow.
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 With a nasal sound.
Knee.
鸟.
Meow. A
Yes.
bird.
And we're going to attempt something right at the end of the show. We're going to attempt to say a phrase in Chinese.
Yes.
With her help.
Yes.
And horse. How do you say horse?
马,
My. Okay. Any other?
Okay. Well, let's see. There are, I'm sure.
Oh, bird.
We did that.
Oh, that's right. We
Yeah.
did bird because that's right. That shows you my memory there. I don't think I would survive very well, but with practice, I might
Yes.
be able to do it.
both of you did very well.
We try.
Well, anyway, we've been talking now and have alluded to some of the animals that are considered to be sacred
Yes.
by the Chinese.
And legends about
Yes,
them.
and dragons you've mentioned. And
Yes.
what other animals would be?
Well,
So I think dragon is
the
the
most
most,
significant.
significant animal
all right,
in
tell
China.
us more.
And it is different from the dragons from Western mythology. According to Chinese legend, the Chinese dragon provides irrigation for farming areas.
Okay.
So instead of fire,
Coming out of-
water comes out of his mouth.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the dragon also represents the majesty of the heaven. So the emperors have, in the past, in ancient China, had used the dragon as their symbols. And today, all the Chinese call themselves the descendants of dragon. So the Chinese dragon is a benevolent animal. And this, I have some paper cuts of the dragon. So you can see how dragons are loved in folk arts. So the dragon provides water for
Okay, show that. Okay.
humans. Excuse me.
Okay. All right, and one has to look very closely in that
Yes,
cutout
I'm
somehow
sorry.
to
Yes.
to see the design.
Yes.
But this is something that would be in a household.
Yes, some people would like to decorate their houses with the dragons, paper cuts, and in Beijing, the palaces have a lot of decorations of the dragons. So the walls, the pillars have, climbing dragons everywhere. And the dragon has a wife, his companion, which is called the phoenix. She is the queen of the birds everywhere.
Okay.
And this picture shows the union of the dragon and the phoenix. And some people just give a gift like this to the newlyweds. For instance, a pair of silk pillowcases or pajamas with the design of the dragon and the phoenix. It indicates happiness and prosperity for the family.
And so this would be a current wedding gift.
Yes,
But based
yes.
on past
Yes,
legends. of that.
legend.
I remember seeing something on television that that every culture has something about a dragon, like even in Latin America, but
Yes.
different interpretations.
I see.
And I found that to be very fascinating. So this is the most significant animal
Yes,
in China would
Yes.
be the dragon.
yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're beginning to run out of time.
Oh, I know, Greg. It just goes so fast when you're having fun.
Susan, what would you most like our viewers to remember about animals in the Chinese culture?
And I think loving animal is a nature for all the humans around the world. And the Chinese people are fun-loving people. We show our love for animals in our legends, in the folklore, and in our arts. So I hope people around the world will share this part of knowledge from my country.
Yeah, I know. Particularly the panda and the dragon are just so
Yes,
typical of China. But it's so. I'm sitting here with a world of information, and we didn't get to talk about the flower that blooms in winter called the.
The 梅花 in Chinese, it means plum flowers.
Plum flower.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to find a plum flower. Maybe not a dragon, but a plum flower. Flowers?
Yes, dragons
I'll get a
are
picture of it.
imaginary animals. They do not exist. Actually, you can find the flowers which are popular in China.
Right. Well, now help us say our phrase now.
Okay, well, first of all, Susan, we'd like to thank you so
Oh, yes.
much this afternoon for taking busy time that you have
And all your preparation.
and sharing with us about animals in the Chinese culture. And I, for one, and I hope our viewers.
Oh, I have just learned so much.
Yes, so very, very much.
We're so appreciative of
It's
it.
my pleasure to be here, and I'm glad to share what I know about my country. And I hope our viewers will love this show.
Oh,
I
we do
think they
too.
will.
Okay.
And on the web, your family and friends will be able to see it back in
yes.
China.
So they will be thrilled to see me on TV.
Now,
Wonderful.
we're going to attempt something.
Well, we're going to attempt something. Okay.
Susan has given us a phrase, and I'm going to see if I can say.
Well,
Do you
no,
want to try it with me?
no, let her say it first. I've got to be reviewed very
okay.
quickly.
爱动物每一天, which means love your pets every day.
Okay, Greg.
I Dong Wu
I Dong Wu.
每
Mei
Yi
Tian.
Tian.
Good. Excellent.
Remember, give your pet a little extra love today.
And every day. So, see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.